This is VOA News. I'm Marissa Melton. At least 5 people have died in the Bahamas' Abaco Islands. Hurricane Dorian continues to pound the area as a Category 4 storm. Bahamas Prime Minister Hubert Minnis confirmed the deaths. He said people in nearby Great Bahama Island are also in serious danger, with some 13,000 buildings damaged or destroyed. As of late Monday, the storm was stalled over the Bahamas, and forecasters say it will continue to pound the islands with massive rainfall and powerful winds throughout the night and into Tuesday. With top sustained winds at 230 kilometers per hour, Dorian is the strongest Atlantic hurricane to strike land in 84 years and the worst ever to hit the Bahamas. The trade war between the United States and China is heating up before the holiday shopping season. AP's Julie Walker reports.
That means Americans are facing potentially higher prices for some clothes, shoes, sporting goods, and other consumer items, says Phil Levy, chief economist at Flexport.
You have a new cost in the supply chain, and each company can deal with it differently. Apple can choose to swallow this, and it can cut into their earnings, or they can choose to pass it along.
President Trump says trade talks are still on for September.
We'll see what happens, but we can't allow China to rip us off anymore as a country.
The new 15% tariff applies to about $112 billion of Chinese imports. I'm Julie Walker.
The U.S. Coast Guard says 34 people are missing after a fire erupted aboard a dive boat off the coast of Southern California. Local media are reporting that several people died in the fire, but the Coast Guard could not immediately confirm any fatalities from the accident. Coast Guard officials say 5 crew members were rescued. For more on this or any other stories and the latest news 24 hours a day, go to voanews.com. You're listening to VOA News. High school students in Hong Kong have added gas masks, goggles, and hard hats to their formal white uniforms as they participate in a strike on the first day back at school. AP's Charles de Ledesma has more.
The young students want to show their commitment to the city's fiery anti-government protest movement. They have gathered in the hundreds at the Chinese University of Hong Kong and 2 public spaces in the city's central business district. The nearly 3 months of youth-dominated protests, calling for democracy and an independent inquiry into police conduct, will be tested as classes resume after the summer break in the semi-autonomous Chinese territory. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
Iraq on Monday suspended the operations of U.S.-funded Al-Hurra television after it broadcast a report alleging corruption in the country's Sunni and Shiite religious institutions. The 12-minute documentary aired on Saturday, claiming that the religious authorities were misusing state funds in administering religious sites and real estate. The country's Communications and Media Commission accused the network of bias and defamation, saying the report lacked professionalism, balance, and reliable evidence. It ordered the satellite network, which broadcasts reports in Arabic in the Middle East and North Africa, to halt its activities until it corrects its position and apologizes. Al-Hurra, like VOA, is operated by the U.S. Agency for Global Media. It defended the report as fair, balanced, and professional, and said it was a professional report on the allegations of corruption in Iraq. Britain is bracing for an explosive week of political battles, which could prove crucial in Britain's proposed exit from the European Union. Henry Ridgewell reports.
Hundreds of thousands of people took to the streets of towns and cities across Britain at the weekend to protest against the government's suspension of Parliament, set to take effect in just a week's time. The demonstrations come ahead of what's likely to be a decisive week for Brexit. On the one side, the government committed to leaving the European Union on October 31st, with or without a deal. It faces a showdown with opponents who believe a no-deal Brexit would be a disaster. From Buckingham Palace to the courts to Westminster, Britain's democracy is being tested to breaking point. The next 5 days will be crucial in deciding who will emerge victorious in this explosive Brexit battle. Henry Ridgewell for VOA News, London.
The United States has reached a draft framework agreement with the Taliban that will require American troops to vacate 5 military bases in Afghanistan within 135 days of signing the document. I'm Marissa Melton. You're listening to VOA News.